U.S. oil is around $86 per barrel as prices for oil fell last week. But now oil-producing countries like Saudi Arabia are in fear of being drawn into conflict. Now, the estimated prices for a barrel could be over $100. Saudi Arabia refuses to boost its production.
According to the Taliban, close to 2,000 people died following a powerful earthquake in Afghanistan on Saturday. The 6.3 magnitude quake struck west of Herat City, located in the third largest province in Afghanistan. The quake was followed by multiple aftershocks. This latest disaster follows an earthquake that hit Afghanistan in June this year, killing more than 1,000 people.
Despite the pushback, certain parts of West Maui reopened to tourists. The Maui City Council urged Governor Josh Green to delay the reopening of the island. Many residents are still trying to heal and rebuild their homes after the deadly wildfires that hit last August. But while visitors are welcome back in some areas, the state says that bringing back vacationers will happen in stages. When WTOP-10 Nightly News continues, learn which ethnicity is at higher risk for Alzheimer's disease.
And an update on the ongoing UAW strike and its impact on our economy.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Shine on that black.
Look at the bling. Look at do we got a diamond tester on? Yeah, that's getting bad. Yep.
10 out of 10 recommend on Yelp.
Score going to the playoffs.
I can't believe I missed that.
Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone.
What? I should take your phone away.
No. I'll call for a ride.
Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
I'm gonna need that back.
No.
Kevin!
In consumer news, according to a new report from the Alzheimer's Association, Hispanic Americans are at a greater risk for the cognitive disease than non-Hispanic Americans. The new research shows Hispanic Americans are 1.5 times more likely to develop Alzheimer's. Experts say it's important to know the early signs of Alzheimer's. Important things you can do to try and prevent the disease are exercise and controlling diabetes and high cholesterol.
Older adults in the U.S. still make up the majority of hospitalizations from COVID-19. A report done by the CDC found that adults 65 and older accounted for about 63% of all COVID-19 hospitalizations and 61% of intensive care unit admissions. Older adults also made up 88% of in-hospital deaths from the virus. According to the report, nearly all had at least one underlying condition.
It's a tough time for potential home buyers. The average U.S. mortgage rate is increasing, and rates are the highest level in 23 years. Mike Valerio has details on what home buyers can do to get their best rate from lenders.
Americans are feeling the impact of inflation in most areas of their lives, but getting a high mortgage rate now can make a big dent on your bank account for decades. The average U.S. mortgage rate is 7.49%. The highest level in 23 years.
You're not going to get 4%, but you can make sure that you're getting the best rate that's out there.
Greg McBride with Bankrate.com says there are a few things you can do to show lenders you're a low risk.
make sure your credit report is accurate and do everything you can to increase your credit score there. That means pulling copies of your credit reports and getting incorrect information removed from that report.
He says it's good to shop around.
Ideally, you want to compare quotes and you want to put in an application with as many as 3 different lenders and do so as close to the same period of time as possible. You want to do all those on the same day. That way you get a real apples to apples comparison, not just on the rate that's available, but also the fees that the lender is charging.
After doing your research, if the numbers still don't work for you, you may want to hit the pause button on purchasing a new home.
Another couple of years of paying down debt, boosting savings, maybe another promotion at work that boosts your income could put you in a position where homeownership is much more tenable a year or two from now than it is today.
In Los Angeles, I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
Potential homeowners are encouraged to do their own research and carefully consider their options prior to purchasing a new home.
The United Auto Workers strike against the big 3 automakers is already the costliest U.S. auto strike in a century. Economic losses from the strike have exceeded $5.5 billion in its first 3 weeks, according to an analysis by AEG. It is the first time in the union's history that it has struck all 3 unionized automakers at the same time. UAW leadership remains optimistic about the outcome.
Coming up in sports is Owen Miles.
Owen, can you give us a quick preview?
Oswego women's soccer is rolling through, and a Formula One superstar has made a historical feat. Coming up in sports after the break.
Welcome back to Major Discussion.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
Hello and welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News. I'm Owen Miles and I will be bringing you your sports report this evening. The Oswego women's soccer team took on the SUNY Oneonta Red Dragons this Saturday on the road. Oneonta had no answer for the Lakers as Oswego took this game 2-0. After a scoreless first half of play, junior Katie Del Grosso put the Lakers on the board 75 minutes in, and soon after, senior Sarah Marinero scored the game-sealing goal 81 minutes in. The Lakers took home their 5th win of the season and will return home to take on SUNY Geneseo this Wednesday at 4 p.m. Now over to our home turf. The Oswego women's field hockey fell to Geneseo on Saturday with a final score of 2-0. Geneseo kicked things off early with their first goal coming just 10 minutes into the game. The Knights scored again soon after, 21 minutes and 55 seconds. The Lakers weren't able to come back despite 6 shots on goal. They will hope to bounce back from this loss at home when they take on Nazareth on Tuesday at 5 p.m. The Oswego Speedway has been very active lately as Super Dirt Week 2023 just wrapped up. The event saw 4 different classes of modified and late model race cars battle it out on the dirt. Matt Williamson won the Billy Whitaker Cars 200 in the Super Dirt Car Series, beating NASCAR drivers such as Max McLaughlin and Stuart Friesen. The winners of the other main features included Matt Jansuk and Dirt Car Sports Swing Series and Luke Horning in the Dirt Car Pro Stocks. Oswego Dirt Week will return in 2024 on October 7th through 13th. Now we hear some NFL news, as the Buffalo Bills may have lost several superstar players after yesterday's loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. Linebacker Matt Milano suffered a knee injury early in the first quarter. Further analysis showed that Milano would require surgery. Additionally, defensive lineman Daquan Jones also left the game in the first quarter. Later reports say that Jones injured his pectoral muscle and will also need surgery. Head coach Sean McDermott has not said these injuries are season-ending, but that both players will be out for a long period of time. And now back onto the motorsports side of things. Max Verstappen has officially won the Formula One championship for the 3rd year in a row. Even though the season still has 5 races left, he had enough wins and pole positions to automatically win the championship. Verstappen's rare accomplishment came after he finished 2nd in the Qatar sprint race on Saturday morning. As if that wasn't already enough, Max Verstappen also won the Qatar Grand Prix on Sunday, 5 seconds ahead of 2nd place finisher Oscar Piastri. Now moving on from the racing world and back into the NFL, WTOP-10 sports reporter Jesse Kushner joins us in the studio now to give us a recap on yesterday's Sunday night game, the Dolphins versus the Giants. Jesse?
Starting off in Miami, the Dolphins took on the New York Giants. This was a battle, folks, with the Dolphins scoring their 2nd touchdown of the night with about 10 minutes left on the clock. And with a monster 76-yard run by Devon Achane, the Dolphins are slowly increasing their deficit between the Giants. The Giants quickly answered back with a touchdown of their own with only 1:40 on the clock left in the 2nd quarter. Jason Pinnock with 102 yards takes advantage of the defense and manages to take an easy touch. This is a great game overall, but the Dolphins came guns a-blazing and secured this victory. Owen, back to you.
Owen and Jesse, thank you both. Stick around to find out what sweet holiday we're celebrating today.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
The Kinda Late Show with Chloe and Anna. Like licorice, Twizzlers, absolutely nasty.
The thought of turkey is just nauseating.
I think you're wrong, is what I think.
You think I'm wrong a lot of time.
I do think you're wrong a lot.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Tomorrow is National Cake Decorating Day. October 10th is the day to thank your favorite cake decorator. Whether it's using icing, buttercream, meringue, or fondant, cake decorators have many ways to express their edible art.
Use the hashtag National Cake Decorating Day on social media to give a shout out to your favorite cake decorator, post favorite designs, or memories of past cakes.
Real quick, Evan, can we get another recap on the weather for this upcoming week?
Yeah, so I mean, if you think we had enough rain over the weekend to last us all the way throughout the rest of the year, you'd be wrong. We do have more rain sticking around our area throughout the entire rest of the week, with some lake effect rain impacting us tomorrow, and then there's general showers as we go out the rest of the week. Friday, we do finally have a chance of some rain, but those clouds will be sticking around. As we go out throughout the weekend, we will see those clouds sticking around our area with pretty low temperatures, so it will be chilly, so make sure you break out those jackets as you head out the door throughout the rest of the week. But as we go throughout the rest of the weekend into Monday morning, throughout the rest of the early next week, we will see those rain showers come back to our area, giving us even more rain. I think the rain should have been done by last week on Friday, but this rain will be sticking around throughout the rest of this weekend, throughout the rest of this week, and into early next week. So no end in sight for this rain, and no end in sight for these cold temperatures.
I'll need to break out my raincoat, that's for sure, walking to class.
Yeah.
Now, what's your favorite sweet? It's National Cake Decorating Day. What do you like?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, just classic ice cream. That's pretty good.
Are you a chocolate fan at all?
No, I'm more of a twist fan. But putting toppings on it, stuff like that.
Okay.
That would be great.
Well, twists are the best.
Well, that's our report for tonight.
Be sure to stay tuned for Perspective Entertainment.
Thank you for watching.
Have a great night, everyone.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to a new season of Perspective Entertainment, the newest Black Center entertainment-based show. I'm Paris, and on the far end over there, I have my great co-host.
Hi guys, my name is Arlette, and I'm excited to get this new season started. Joining us today, we have this beautiful Aaliyah, aka Penny. Say hi. Hi.
How you doing today, man?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm doing all right. It was a long day. Not gonna lie to you.
A very long and productive day. We appreciate you joining for our season opening today, Aaliyah.
All right. Before we get started, I know what you guys are thinking. Where's Cash? Where's Justin? If somehow you didn't know, Justin and Cash both graduated last semester, and they've been enjoying their colleges and their lives post-college. It's a few pictures up there. Look at them graduating and all that. Those my hosts right there, man. I appreciate them so much, man. Look at them. They just
cheesing.
They cheesing hard. Oh man. Oh, that's my boy Justin. Where was he? I think he said he was Ocean. It was somewhere. I swear he said it was like Puerto Rico or something. He going on cruises and stuff.
Was
like,
it the Dominican Republic?
Oh, I might be lying. I did ask him.
This is the Miami Carnival, right?
That's the Miami Carnival. That's my boy Cash on the left. That's a good picture right there.
Reloaded.
I asked him for a few of like pictures, and the thing he told me was all my pictures are like, not safe for work. Basically, to keep it short. So he been living great. he been living great. This is a family-friendly show for the most part. So shout out to
PG-13, not rated R.
That's what they're saying. All right, shout out to Justin and Cash, man, because they trusted me and Arlette to keep the tradition running, and we appreciate y'all both. Now, getting to the focus of the show, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Paris Holmes. I'm currently a junior that transferred from Pittsburgh University, and I'm from Rochester, New York. Now for my co-host, Arlette.
Hey guys, my name is Arlette, and I'm currently a sophomore. I transferred to Oswego my second semester freshman year after studying abroad in Costa Rica. And yeah, I'm from Washington Heights, Manhattan, New York City.
All right. Now the whole point of the show is we have a guest along with us. So we had a very powerful conversation while preparing for today's show, and we got to know each other a little bit better. So Aaliyah is an upcoming poet on campus, and some may already know about her work. So Aaliyah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Aaliyah, obviously. I am also a junior as well. Yeah. I'm from the Bronx. I was unfortunately born in, no, stop.
Unfortunately?
I was born and raised in the Bronx, and yeah, I came to Oswego. Yay!
What made you choose Oswego?
Money.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Same.
That's
Shout out to EOP.
Yes, shout out to EOP. Shout out to the advisors. Shout out to Joey.
Shout out to Grace, Dr. Maxine Clark.
So why'd you put your quotation marks on junior?
Because I have a little bit more time in Oswego because I changed my major. Yeah, so I am now a history major with a minor in journalism.
I love.
You know, I'm a broadcasting major, of course, but journalism, I can't. I don't know. There's something about journalism.
I like to write, so does it make sense?
You know that I didn't put two and two together at all. You got that.
That's good. I do creative writing.
For me, I'm a junior because, you know, I went to Pittsburgh, of course. And then my freshman year, it was COVID. So everything, you know, along with COVID and all that, I just couldn't stay there. You know, it wasn't a good community for the black people. I'll just keep it frank. You know, it wasn't really, I felt out of place. And then of course COVID, you know, everybody had to stay inside, and it was like groups of 5. If you had 6 people in a room, everybody was getting written up. So I had to get out of there. But
it's
not that bad. It wasn't that bad though. So, all right. When we come back, we'll be talking about Aaliyah more and her talents. Stay tuned.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No, but you've got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
Roll it. Jill told me it was Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
Al Roker.
Welcome back to Perspective Entertainment. Before the break, we got a little recap on our old hosts, and we got to know a little bit about Leah and all her work. So the first question I want to ask is, what inspired you to get into your field of work?
To start writing poetry. I've been writing poetry since like the 6th grade. I've been writing poetry before I even knew what poetry was. It's a little like traumatic, but I used the things that I was going through when I was younger, and I just started writing about it, and I have always channeled my pain into art.
Did you want to go a little bit further on a brief thing on what, you know, started your inspiration in terms of like what you went through when you were younger? Or is that a little too much?
I'm an open book for the most part. So my childhood has not been the most ideal childhood with the perfect family. And I lived with a single mom for about 3 years of my life. And before that, I lived with my grandparents. And feeling alone without anyone to talk to, writing was my only form of like releasing the things that I had to say. And my notebook was the only person that would listen to me, even though it couldn't talk back. At least I could talk to it. So
I was listening.
So what was like your biggest like hardship coming up, and what like really made you start? Like, do you have a certain one moment?
Okay, this is also like pretty traumatic. So I got kicked out of my house when I was 13.
13, you said?
Yeah. So I got kicked out of my house when I was 13, and from there, as you can imagine, I was a little lost. I was also very angry with like my family and stuff. So I just used that and channeled my anger into writing. At the time, I didn't know what therapy was, so you could imagine how that was. I was freshly starting high school, moving around, obviously, from place to place. And I just utilized music and like writing to release everything that I was feeling. Even though I was a very angry child and like an angry teenager, I still didn't want anyone to feel the pain that I was feeling, because I still felt like the world deserved so much more, and I always knew that I deserved so much more. So I just always thought maybe if I put out into the world what I wanted to receive, then I'd be able to receive that at some point in my life.
Do you feel like you have that golden rule right now? Like,
yeah, I still believe treat people the way you want to be treated, but with boundaries instead.
What do you mean with boundaries?
I say with boundaries because even though I treat people the way I want to be treated, people still walk over you.
Okay.
And
Facts.
I've had a history of sacrificing myself and my needs, basically people pleasing. So because I've been so conditioned to my ideology that I should give out to the world what I want back, I've been a people pleaser. And I've kind of allowed like people to walk over me and like take my kindness for granted. And the space that I'm in now, I've been learning to put myself first, which I feel like everyone should do. Only extend yourself as much as you receive.
I agree. Do you believe the saying, if it's not bringing you peace, you should let it go?
Definitely. I think protecting your peace is like one of the most important things. And the way that I am now, it's just like, if you're not contributing to my peace, you have to go. Yeah. Like, you can be family member, friend, boyfriend, you can even be my dog. If you're not bringing me peace, you have to go. What the dog do?
What the dog
I'm
do?
just saying, like, if, I don't know, you come home from a long day at work and your dog, like, has the zoomies and tears up everything, and you just, like, it's been a long day, you just have to sit in a corner right now. But, you know.
That's true. Never lie.
Yeah.
All right, so you said you started writing, what was it, 6th grade when we talked? Do you still have that poem?
I don't actually have that poem. I have a poem from the first time I've ever shared my work, though.
Okay. We might get into that a little bit later.
Okay.
So like when you started writing in 6th grade, what was like your mindset going into everything?
Okay, so honestly, I was just lost, and like I didn't know what was to come next for me in the world. I'm in 6th grade. This is like elementary school, and I'm just like
in 6th grade? Like
probably like
11?
what, 11 or 12?
Yeah, it was 12.
You was 13 in 6th grade.
I don't know.
I was 13 in 8th grade.
Oh God, that's
wait, what? 6? Oh yeah. Because I remember I was like 11 around there.
Yeah, so like maybe like 11 or 12, but I think one of my biggest inspirations to start utilizing like writing to express myself, in the 5th grade, I was introduced to Langston Hughes. and I was introduced to the poem No Uncommercial Theater by him, and from there I just fell in love with all of his work and poetry overall.
So you said Langston Hughes. Is there anybody else that inspired you to start writing? Like I need like some. Do you have a favorite poet? Is that what I'm asking right now?
Besides Langston Hughes?
Yeah.
One of my favorite poets at the moment is Harain. I love his work.
Shout out to Harain.
Shout out to Harain. Also, the person that inspired me to start sharing my work was Ricky.
Okay.
So having two friends that are poets helped a lot.
So honestly, like when it comes to these people like helping you like motivate you, like how was it like? Was it like a push, like you should do it too? Like I see all these influencers like doing it, and these are my friends. Like,
yeah. So honestly, I've always been a little doubtful about my work, and getting that push from them, and like getting, I guess, basically like confirmation that I'm a good writer. Because honestly, I just used to write and keep everything in my journal, and I started sharing my poems with them, and they're like, why aren't you sharing this stuff? And I'm like, because I don't think it's worthy enough of being shared. And I really think like that, like getting the push from them has helped me push other people who are poets. And I'm really grateful for that, honestly.
Honestly, what you said about like pushing other people, because you're actually like helping me like publish my poems.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like, you know, you also did say it wasn't worthy of like being, you know, brought out to the world. Was it not worthy to you, or was it not worthy to who do you think will read it?
I am my biggest critic, but also I realized that I had the fear of being vulnerable to the public eye, and I had the fear of being judged by others. And I think as time passed, and even being in therapy, you obviously have to open up to your therapist, who's a complete stranger, and you have to be vulnerable. And I think I just became open to just accepting myself for who I am, and like validating the fact that I have gone through these things. If I don't validate the things that I've gone through, who's going to validate them for me? So I think it really started there.
Through your healing. So where did you get your like name from? Penny.
Penny, okay. So the name Penny, this might sound crazy, and I promise I am not crazy.
We are hearing you out.
We are not
this
judging
is a
you.
safe space.
This is an open space.
I promise I'm not crazy, but I have this thing where I create like different aliases and different personas for myself. I've realized as of lately, through unpacking and through working on healing, that I've been creating these personas because I feel like a lot of people have taken my power away from my actual name, including like my parents, past partners, and stuff like that. So when I create these new personas, they become new people who have not who no one has experienced and no one has taken power from. So with the name Penny, there was a point where I had dreadlocks, and I created a new persona, and I dyed my hair pink, and she was this pink-haired girl. And Penelope, I named her Penelope because it just, Pink and Penelope seemed like,
they go together pretty
well.
I won't lie, they go together pretty well.
But then when I named myself Penelope, I'm like, okay, wait, Penelope sounds like an old lady's name, so we're gonna call her Penny for short. And then came Penny.
Okay. I mean, so I know that, you know, the world may not know, but, you know, people who know you for real know that it's a thing called Penny's Treehouse. Can you put me on about that a little bit?
Okay, so after Penny was born, you know, Penny's a big Sag. Her birthday is November 23rd.
So all your like aliases have different birthdays?
Yeah, I mean, they were created on a certain day, so I have to obviously honor the day that they were.
Okay.
They were
established.
Created, yeah.
Penny's Treehouse came after Penny was born, obviously. I named it Penny's Treehouse because that became my house, was my treehouse, my safe haven, whoever I let into my treehouse, I was very selective. That's my safe space. Being in Oswego and being away from like the city, something that I've been used to, I needed to create something that I could fall back into.
Okay.
And that was what my treehouse was. A space for me to be vulnerable, no cameras, no hidden personas, just me.
Was there anybody who ever tried to like, you know, mess up with that?
Ooh, that laugh is kind of serious sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Are we gonna keep it short with you? I you know, I don't want you to.
That was like 10 years in there, you know, when people be like, yeah.
So let's just say, guys, ex-partners.
Yeah.
Ex-partners. Well, when we come back, there will be a lot more of ex-partners and yeah. So when we come back, stay tuned.
Falling out.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Shine on that boy. Look at the bling. Look at do we got a diamond tester on?
Yeah, that's getting bad. Yep.
10 out of 10 recommend on Yelp.
We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that? I'm playing with these new face filters. Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. I'm gonna need that back. No. Kevin!
Welcome back to Perspective Entertainment. Coming up, Penny is going to read a few poems from a book where letters are found. If you want to tell us a little bit about the poems before you get into them, that would kind of be great.
Okay.
That would be great.
Okay, so the first poem that I would be reading is titled Relentless. This was actually the first poem that I shared. This was during quarantine. I posted on my Instagram at the time, and I just felt like I wanted to share my work with the world. So I did, but then got a little nervous about it, so I kind of deleted it after. No, I know that thing. Yeah, so second guessing and like overthinking, but yeah.
All right, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Sorry. Dear Diary, I take a step back and look at myself. Am I really here? Is it really me? I take 3 deep breaths, trying to maintain consciousness, but the room seems to be spinning underneath me while I'm standing completely still. I reach out to touch the glass where my reflection should be, but there isn't a thing there. The only thing I can see is a shattered piece of glass that's going to fall at my feet at any minute. Why can't I see myself? Is this an illusion? I feel my body temperature rising. I feel the tears running down my face, but why can't I see them? I try to touch you, but you don't feel it. You don't know that I'm here. You carry on with life without knowing that I exist. I run my hands through your hair, but you stand completely still in confusion. The hairs on the back of your neck raise as you can feel my presence, and you acknowledge that there is a person that loves you. But what you don't know is that every day that you're away, the earth slowly cripples beneath my feet as I wait for you to take it back, as I wait for you to restore the light that the earth is missing. But instead of there being light, my days become darker, and no matter how much I try to cling to the little bit of me that is left, the little of me that has been fighting the darkness, I become weaker. I lose the ones that I love. I lose my sanity. I lose my happiness. I lose myself. You brought me peace to all of my chaos. The nights have been restless. Death has chosen its people, and it keeps choosing, and soon it'll choose me. But before I go, I want you to know that in life and in death, I love you for allowing me to be myself, holding the lantern in the dark when I couldn't see, helping me grow when I couldn't reach. So as I stand here without a reflection, I trust that my soul will ascend and I will be found again.
So tell us a little bit, like, the writing process of that poem. Like, was it all one day? Do you just sit down and write? Or
Yes.
Do you...
So I don't think any of my work actually, like, takes days for me to write unless I'm having, like, extreme writer's block.
What's that?
When my thoughts are all clouded and I can't get any thoughts down on paper or...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but this poem, I wrote this poem during quarantine. I was freshly out of my first high school relationship.
You just love, I don't know, it's something about sneak dissing, people that you were with. It's like,
it's not sneak dissing.
No, I'm just saying, she's like my last relationship.
I mean,
and look at the way, like,
the way that I view my life, I look off to the cameras because one of my favorite shows is The Office. So I have Jim Halpert moments where, Jim just looks off, and my cameraman, yeah. So it's not sneak dissing. My cameramen know because they've been there the entire time. But I mentioned, like, death a lot and losing the people that I loved because, it was COVID and people were dying. It was, like, a very sad time, and I'm an empath, so I feel everything, like, extremely deeply. Yes. And I'm a very sensitive person, and it's just like, oh my God, I love all of these people, but they're dying. And I was scared because I had, like, chest problems and COVID. Scary.
All right, you got a second poem for us?
Yeah, I do. Sorry,
What's
guys.
This one called?
This one is called To Breathe. Sorry, I'm trying to find it. Dear Diary, I woke up this morning able to breathe again. The sun was finally shining. My stars were aligning. Feelings of defeat no longer detected, as I no longer had to lay myself down for a lover. There were no more grenades to be caught, but in turn, a garden to nurture. And for a soul like mine, the most random to exist, I no longer had to wander. I could finally sit. I am no longer lost. So if you're looking for me, I'll leave you the coordinates to where you'll find me under my favorite tree. For a soul once trapped, I've finally been freed from a jail that will never get the chance to imprison me. Love shouldn't hurt. It shouldn't cut deep or cause you to bleed internally, leaving you lifeless, black and blue, soulless for eternity. So with love I restore, I water and nurture. I've replanted my garden, my seeds spread further. Thank you.
We're going to do it every time. We're going to do it
what
every time.
What was that side eye? You kind of side-eyed me there.
I side-eyed you in.
Okay.
There's the cameras can't see it. Okay. I was watching, I just had to come back and watch.
Okay.
I'm very impressed, I'm
Thank
very
you.
impressed. So.
How you think the difference between the first poem and this one, like, is different?
I can definitely see a lot of growth and a lot of healing has taken a lot of time. During the time that I wrote Relentless during quarantine, I was also going through a very, very, very hard spiritual awakening. I feel like I got hard launched, and from there it was just like a spiral. But To Breathe, I finally felt like I could breathe again, and I finally felt free. I had Penny's Treehouse. I began replanting my gardens, not physically as well, because, you know, I'm a plant mom, but also metaphorically as well. I take life as my garden, and I plant seeds. I try to plant seeds every day and water my garden and grow.
So I did notice that, you know, I kind of looked through your book a little bit.
Oh.
And for most of them, they did start with Dear Diary. So, like, you kind of touched on it a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
But why do you start with Dear Diary?
I start with Dear Diary because I treat everything like it's my journal. So life is my journal, my book is my journal, and you guys are reading my journal entries. So,
you know, that's remember, minor of journalism.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, you see how that connects? Life.
Synchronicities. Everything is always connected.
Yep.
Synchronicity. Like, what's going on? I feel like sometimes, you know, because of course I'm not a journalist. You know, Arlette, you know, over there, she does a little bit of journaling too. So this is more of her, you know, her, what's the word?
Forte.
Your forte. So I feel like I'm a little bit out the loop. So it's been pretty like great to get to know you and get to like learn about all your poems and all that. So it's just kind of been eye-opening that everybody goes through something, like looking at you, like just walking down the hallway.
You're the person that glows. You're energy.
It doesn't really seem like, you know, you've been through all these.
Don't judge a book
by its cover. Yes. Because a person can look great and amazing, but you don't know what's going on.
And that's why you must extend kindness to everyone, because you don't know what anyone is going through.
And another thing is that if you're not true to yourself, and if you're not blocking, like if you're letting that weird energy block your peace of mind, it's not meant for you. But all right, everybody, have a great night, and always remember to stay true to your true self, and see you next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome live inside the Al Roker studio for the fastest 30 minutes in all of entertainment, ? I'm Maddie Durant, joined by Kyle Spizak and Garrett Chan, and we got a great show for you today. But before we get started, how we feeling tonight, guys? How we doing?
I mean, it's a sports miracle here.
That's right.
I mean, we're here, we're talking about sports. You quite literally cannot get better than that. I mean, baseball's in full swing. Playoffs are coming up on 2 huge sports. Garrett, I'm going to stop talking about what I'm excited about sports. How about you? What have you been looking at?
I mean, this is an optimal time for all of us, you know. The vibes are immaculate, as I always say.
Pristine.
We're all being inspirational right now,
so
let's get this show right on the road.
Alrighty, I guess then without further ado, let's go back to our roots. We're going to talk about some sports, as we mentioned. We're going to start in the world of Major League Baseball, which I know Garrett's favorite. Mine too, actually. I'm kind of turned into a baseball fan here, but we're about 3 weeks into the 2023 regular season, so there have already been an abundance of interesting surprises and storylines that have really captivated the eyes of baseball fans. Despite losing 2 in a row against the Toronto Blue Jays this past weekend, the Tampa Bay Rays were unstoppable in their first 13 games and matched the longest season opening winning streak in the modern era. Well, it's too early to look at standings. The Rays currently sit in first place with a league best record of 14-2. Guys, what's been the biggest reason for the Rays' early success?
You know, Garrett, given you've been waiting for baseball for so long, I'll let you start off on it. Your thoughts.
I mean, the Rays are that type of team that you have these collection of players that are not big names. They're not typical superstars, but they know how to get it done. They have a lot of great pitching. Pitching has been the forefront of this Tampa Bay Rays organization. They find ways to make talent, whether they don't know who they are or these no names, and you build them up through the system and you improve. You have good pitching, it takes you far in the offense. I mean, Randy Arozarena was an absolute stud in the World Baseball Classic. He's carried it within the first 3 weeks of the regular season, and I've been really impressed with the offense as well. Even though they face like some really bad teams like the Athletics and the Nationals, they're a really solid team, and I think they are a force in the AL East.
Yeah, and that's where I kind of agree with you, is they're always good. They're always that one team. They never have superstars year after year. I mean, when they made it to the World Series a few years back, they never have a star-studded roster, but they managed to find a way to get there. I mean, Wander Franco, 318 average so far into the season. Loa's 5 home runs. Rosarena, 17 RBIs. And you talking on that pitching you were talking about, Jeffrey Springs has a 5.56 ERA.
He's very impressive.
26 strikeouts for McClanahan. And the team as a whole, if we take a look at the teams, 114 runs, first in the league. Second highest average, second highest on-base percentage, highest slugging, highest ERA.
Lowest ERA.
Well, yeah, lowest ERA, sorry.
Yeah.
But no, they've been playing outstanding. But is it because they have been playing teams like the Tigers, Nationals, A's, Boston?
They're very lackluster.
That could be a huge reason why they were able to shred on that run.
Absolutely.
Right, and we're going to move a little bit north from Tampa Bay to the Big Apple, where both the Mets and the Yankees sit second in their respective divisions with a record of 10-6. After getting swept in Milwaukee, the Mets bounced back in their first homestand, sweeping the Miami Marlins and taking 2 out of 3 from the San Diego Padres. This past weekend, the Mets swept the Oakland Athletics and continue their West Coast trip facing the Los Angeles Dodgers and the San Francisco Giants. As for the Bronx Bombers, they have been handling their business against American League opponents such as the Baltimore Orioles, Cleveland Guardians, and the Minnesota Twins. Guys, both teams have had their early ups and downs, but which team edged the edge so far?
And I made this one for you, Garrett. Take
What
over.
are we
What is that? Is that the big brother beating up on the little brother again? Just like the Yankees always beat up on the Mets, the better team in New York.
That's okay. I did not know that. I did not see this at first, so this is an absolute surprise to me. I'm just gonna say this: the Mets have had their history of, I always say the great thing about being a Mets fan is that it really develops you as a human being. From May to September, you go through ups and downs, and it's like pain, but at the same time, when you have those expectations and they exceed them, and I hope they win the World Series because I will be jubilant. But like I said, when it comes down to the Mets and Yankees, they're both very talented. They've had their
they're both the
issues.
same. They're both 10-6 right now. So
That's true.
They're pretty equal teams.
They've had their share of really good opponents. Like I said, the Mets, as Maddie said, the Mets face the Brewers, and their Brewers, I think they're a young, star-studded team. Like I said, they're facing the Flags. The Dodgers and the Giants would be a real test because I really think they're really good contenders in that loaded NL West because they took 2 out of 3 from the Padres. They were really good.
Yeah, and then something that I want to point out is Alonso actually does have more home runs than Judge so far to start the season. Alonso does, but if we take a look, Garrett Cole has been the story for the Yankees.
Without a doubt.
.95 ERA, 4 wins, 32 strikeouts throughout those 4 wins. He had a 9-pitch outing. He had 9-inning outing a few days ago.
Yesterday.
Yeah. Dude is unreal. He's just out there whipping it. He has had multiple 10-plus strikeout games. He's just the elite pitcher in the American League right now, I think. The offense, losing Stanton's a big loss because he is leading them in RBIs, but if you can give Volpe a bit of time. He's still young. He's still developing. You got Cabrera. And you get these young players coming up.
That's right.
They're going to be really good in a couple of years. They're going to be really good.
We'll see.
Right, and speaking of looking forward, even though it's early, it never hurts to look forward to October baseball and predict who is going to be in this year's Fall Classic. Garrett, who do you think is going to be in the World Series?
I'm ready to shock the world.
Do it.
The National League favorite, I believe, is the San Diego Padres. American League favorite, Toronto Blue Jays.
Ooh.
And I say that because these two teams have stacked offenses. When you talk about the Padres, they have Juan Soto, who is going to be a free agent, I believe, at the end of the year, but he is a dynamic talent. You have Manny Machado, who's raked every season. You have, I'm blanking on the names right now, Nelson Cruz, Boomstick. He's had a really good, solid start to this
Can't forget
season.
about Roy Boy.
Yes. Well, Tatis, he's going to be on his way up. He'll join the team, and I'll lengthen that lineup even more. As for the pitching, they have Musgrove, they have Snell, they have Darvish. That's a solid 3.
That is.
In a best-of-5 or a best-of-7 series, give me that. For the Blue Jays, they have a lot of good offensive juggernauts. Bo Bichette, Vlad Guerrero, George Springer. These guys taste playoffs. They know how to compete under pressure. I'm a little questionable about the pitching just because I know former Met Chris Bassett has not had the best start. But like I said, the Blue Jays, they have a well-rounded team. That's why I think they're the AL favorites.
See, I agree with you when it comes to National League. I really think San Diego probably does have the best roster in all of baseball, in my opinion. I mean, like you just said, you got Juan Soto, you got Machado. He's been absolutely fantastic from the last couple of years. And then you're going to have Tatis coming back up. Out of the AL, as much as it pains me to say, because I hate them more than any franchise,
I know where it's going.
I think the Astros are gonna I think the Astros run it back, and that'll be one heck of a dogfight. But we'll have to see.
All right, well, thanks, guys, for your thoughts. That does it for our coverage of Major League Baseball today. Coming up after the break, we are going to talk NBA and NHL playoffs, so don't go anywhere. You're watching the fastest 30 minutes in all of entertainment, ?
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No, but you've got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
Roll it.
Jill told me it was Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
Al Roker.
Hello and welcome back to the iconic ? Our focus is going to shift from baseball to playoff season in both the NBA and NHL. For more on the NBA playoffs, I'm going to swing it over to Garrett.
Thanks, Maddie. The play-in round of the NBA playoffs is complete, and first round action of the playoffs is already underway. The Golden State Warriors, who are the defending NBA champs, are currently the 6th seed in the Western Conference as they look to defend their crown in what is already a loaded playoff bracket. Taking a deeper look at the playoff format, the Bucks sit as the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference as they face the Miami Heat in a best-of-7 series. Questions do surround Giannis Antetokounmpo's health for Game 2 after he hurt his back in Game 1 in their 130-117 loss. Kyle, do you think the Bucks will represent the Eastern Conference, or do you think there will be another team that'll sneak their way in?
I mean, don't get me wrong. The Bucks are amazing. Giannis, dominant, and then Middleton, great complement player as well. I just think there's too much talent in the East right now. I think Philly is to Jacob Bradley Sixers. I mean, I think that the Sixers are probably the best team in the East this year, in all honesty. Joel Embiid's having an MVP season. James Harden, he's one of the greatest scorers there is, whether it's creating an opportunity for himself where he can lay it in, or you've seen how many ankles he's taken throughout his career, literally dropping people across the court, staring them down, hitting a 3 in their face. His assist making is very good too. I just think that Philly is probably the best, and I think that the Heat's going to give him a run because Jimmy Buckets is a dog.
Jimmy Buckets can play. One can only hope. I'd say the Knicks. Jalen Brunson has been.
We can hope, but it's not going to happen.
We can hope. I have my fingers crossed. Jalen Brunson, I think, has been a huge revelation, not just to the Knicks, but the whole NBA as a whole. They give him, Knicks give him this max contract, and there's a lot of questions about whether Jalen Brunson's really that superstar player that takes him over the top. And we already know what Julius Randle can contribute. Emmanuel Quickley, I believe, is the 6-man favorite because he's been absolutely balling out. And then you have a lot of other young talent as well. I feel like the Knicks, the thing with the playoffs is that if you get hot at the right time, you can go really far. And like I said, injuries play a big role in these playoffs, so Knicks can actually be a huge threat.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a chance.
But as we move from the Eastern Conference, we take a look at the Western Conference. We have several favorites in the Western Conference. We have John Morant and the young core of the Grizzlies who've been really impressive to watch over this course of their regular season. We have the Nuggets, who are led by MVP favorite Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. And I must say, Nikola Jokic has been absolutely balling out. I do believe he is another MVP candidate. He might win another award back-to-back years, I believe. And you always have to think about the Suns, who made the NBA Finals a couple of years ago. But they are certainly a threat in that Western Conference with the mid-season acquisition of Kevin Durant. So I feel like with those Western Conference teams, Kyle, do you feel like those three teams are solid to choose from, or are there more to look at?
If the Martians have a death beam pointed at Earth, the laser's pointed at Earth, and there's only one team that can stop it, I'm going with the Clippers. Wow. Yeah. I'm pulling a big one out of my pocket here. I think they're going to be the sneaky team.
Maddie's
I think they're going to be a sneaky team. Listen, the Suns ain't winning it. The Suns ain't winning that series. The Clippers are going to win the Suns series in general. I think that they win that. They get it rolling. Lakers, it really ain't nothing. They're kind of trash, I'm not going to lie. The Warriors,
they're older.
They're getting there. I mean, they lost to the Kings. De'Aaron Fox
beam.
He was just sprinting Steph down all game. So
That's true.
I don't know. I want the upset. I want the Clippers.
I mean, that's like I said, we have NBA playoffs, but that's not the only playoffs that's going on. We got the NHL, and I got to throw it over to my man Kyle.
Yeah, it's that time of year again where the ice starts to melt, so the Stanley Cup playoffs are underway. But that's not without some drama for the last few wildcard spots in the East and West. But guys, let's take a look at our brackets. We don't actually have the picture of our brackets, so we're going to use hockey footage instead. But hockey is a game where a weird bounce can change a team's season. Who do you think is going to be the underdog of this, Garrett?
The underdog? How about the Rangers?
The Rangers?
I read somewhere that they have the lowest odds to win the Stanley Cup final. And I don't know if that was incorrect or if that's just a wrong source, but if that's the case, if that holds true, I truly believe that the Rangers, they have Patrick Kane, they had Tarasenko mid-season acquisition. I don't think they're considered the underdogs just because they're slower with talent. But I mean, I look at this bracket. Maybe the Carolina Hurricanes. Do they count?
I mean, the thing about the Canes is the Canes are always a solid team. I think they're always a solid top 4 team, especially out of the East. Maybe even a top 2 team out of the East on a yearly basis. My concern about the Canes is they lost Andrei Svechnikov.
That's right.
They lost Svechnikov, who was one of their leading scorers throughout the season. Lose him about a month or two ago. He's out for the season. That's a huge loss for them. But my personal underdog, Turgeon's going to like this one. I feel like the Leafs have a chance to pull it off.
Leafs?
I know they're not going to. I'm not saying they're going to. I think they have the chance to. They have Marner is insane. Matthews, unreal. Their entire team is just stacked. They're one of the best on paper teams, but they can never seem to put it together at the end of the year. I feel like this is the year they don't choke a Game 7. I think they get past Tampa and they have a chance to at least make a deep run.
That's impressive. But I would like to just say very quickly that we do want to talk about final matchup predictions.
Oh, yeah, we probably should talk about
I think it's going to be Edmonton and the Bruins. The Bruins are obviously the best team. They set
McDavid and the Bruins?
I'm telling you. I really want that to happen because you have McDavid and Draisaitl. They're too good.
All right. I like that. I'm going to say it's probably going to be the Bruins and probably the Avs, but I'm going with the Bruins. They're too good of a team this year. Swayman's too good. But that's all the time we got for now. We're going to take a break, and when we get back, somebody's learning how to drive? What? We'll be right back.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Shine on that black.
Look at the bling. Look at do we got a diamond tester on?
Yeah, that's getting bad. Yep. 10 out of 10 recommend on Yelp.
we're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
I'm gonna need that back.
No. Kevin!
Welcome back. The second time. I'm just gonna say that every time.
New phone.
Okay. I don't know how secure this is though.
It's fine.
Okay, we'll find out.
Or yours?
This is for sports.
Sports talk?
mark.
Okay, I didn't know.
No,
Here we go.
so, okay, do you know what gas and brake is?
Yes.
Okay.
Right on the gas, left on the brake.
No, same foot.
No, oh my god. Okay, you use one foot to drive. This is not a standard.
Double pedal.
Yeah!
Yeah! Let's
Hit them
go.
both at the same time.
And go all the way back like that. And then
Okay.
like this. You can stop.
I mean, that would be pretty cool if
Yeah.
you got the clock, though.
You're good. You're doing okay.
I did it.
All right, to the athletic complex.
No.
Yay.
We're gonna turn left here. So take your car out of park. There you go. And now you put your foot on the gas a little bit, just a little bit, and then start turning left. And then you're gonna do hand over hand. It's okay. You're okay. You're okay.
You want to turn
Mike,
hard to the left.
it's scarier too because it's loud. I apologize.
Yeah.
Okay. You're okay.
You got this.
And now you're gonna straighten back out.
Sure, you don't want to do the line in the parking lot. It might be.
So.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't think that'll object to a parking lot as long as you don't hit the telephone
Or this
We're
truck.
gonna slow down a little bit. We're gonna turn left when we hit up here. Okay.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna go in circles.
pole. Yeah. Like me, trying to loosen my caliper.
So even though you can turn left right here, because we're just gonna go in a circle. It's okay. It's okay.
That's okay. You're doing great.
You're just doing a sharp turn.
And
It's
then
fine.
if you feel like you're too close, you can put it in reverse.
We're okay. Yeah. See, look at that.
3 points.
And then you're gonna turn
it
this
the other
way.
way. Yep. So I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm literally
All right, now. I'd rather him learn than. I mean, you have to backseat drive. He's
I mean,
not-
that's a
he's
good
never
point.
driven a
That's a
car
good
before.
All right. That's good enough. So then you open it back and drive. And you gotta straighten your wheel out. That's okay. You're okay.
There you go.
Yeah. Just get comfortable with the vehicle, and then we'll worry about lines.
Your wheel makes the same sound as mine.
She's
I
chugging
feel very
along.
confident. I'm really glad we did this.
You're doing good. You're picking it up. You'll turn left here. Start your turn. So you're starting your turns too late.
Okay.
So when you go to make a turn, you want to slow down the vehicle a little bit, but you don't want to stop.
Okay.
And then you can kind of turn as you're braking, and then you accelerate once you hit that curve. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it. All right.
Imagine we just stopped.
We're back again. What is this time for? Maybe?
Take 4.
Say hello.
Okay.
Hello.
We're all still in the car. We're all still alive.
So you can try it up here.
It's going
So
really
far.
well. So far. Yeah,
It's
true.
okay. Slow down a
It's
little
nothing.
bit,
We'll
and
cushion our
then
fall.
Not quite. It's okay.
Oh!
It's okay. So we can do it again up here because it's 2 turns.
Yeah.
So now you're turning your wheel,
Oh, I
and
think
you
this
can
is upside
accelerate
down.
here.
What am I doing?
Like that. A little less.
Wait, why am I
Okay, yeah, so that's another thing.
All
about
right, we have to teach him how to turn
the car.
signal.
Yeah, we'll teach him all that.
That's a
We
later
gotta teach him
issue.
how to turn first.
Later issue.
He's okay. He's doing better than what I've seen before. It's okay.
That's true. I was telling Mel how I did a burnout the first time I tried to learn stick, and the mark was there for 2 weeks. I was very
Now,
proud of it.
slow your car down, start your turn. You don't
Keep
stop
going.
the vehicle though, and then there you go, just like that.
Yep.
It's a little sharp. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
You already drive like someone who's from New York City. Perfect.
Oh, great.
Put that next to me.
All right, Chan, man.
What's up?
All the phones. All the phones.
All the cameras are on.
Hello, Melinda.
Hey, this isn't my phone because it's out of storage, so.
Yeah, mine too. I don't know why
She's
it's filming right now.
Mine's rocking.
Look at you.
A little bit of a fuzzy lens, but that's okay.
That's so good. What kind do you have?
I don't know.
So we turn here, or you want me to keep going?
Keep going. I just, because you were.
Oh.
Yep, mine's done. Storage full.
We're gonna go back up to the big car and try that again. So you started really close to that red line. So just come out a little bit. And it's gonna be tough because there's no like door handle to go off of. But door handle. So yeah, so when you parallel park, you look at the other vehicle's handle.
I always do the windows.
If you're on a truck, it changes. So you have to look at like the start of that truck.
What's your drop?
The phone.
Oh. The one is gonna be the car.
The lid is the car.
You're now Garrett's home.
Great.
That's not gonna be
Wait,
useful,
should I
but
come
I'm
up
so
in the
sorry.
front? I'm not coming up. Hang on.
I'll take bits and pieces of it.
Wait a minute. Sorry. Alright, I'm so sorry. Really?
Okay, straighten out though. So this is our fake car. Okay, yeah, that's good. All right, so pull up though, because I want you to go through the motions of coming back and then over, okay? All right, good. So now we're gonna restart and go through the motion. So you're gonna go back. The front of the car is gonna be about to here, where I'm standing, and then you're gonna start your moves again. Good. So then start your second move. All right. You gotta back up a little bit more. You gotta back up a little bit more.
Yeah.
He's gonna end up being sideways. He's gonna end up being sideways. Oh. Just trust me, just reverse a little bit.
Sideways? What do you mean?
So when you crank,
And then you're gonna wanna pull forward and straighten out.
Pause.
Pause. Alright, so this wasn't as good as your other attempts.
Too wide.
Yeah, you're too wide. So you should have reversed more instead of. I guess that's my fault because I was giving you directions. But you needed to reverse a little bit more so that you were more in the spot, because otherwise you're off to the side here.
Yeah.
Because if this was on street parking, you'd have to restart your move.
Yeah, that's right. So I'll restart my move then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that way.
Okay, boom.
Made it to McDonald's.
I know Garrett drove all the way here by himself.
Yes.
So impressive.
So proud.
So impressive. Fabulous.
And Mel got back in the car and
Yeah. I took out a seat.
Yep. I turned the heat on, by the way.
Okay.
Which I'm sure you've noticed. Yeah.
My seats are heated, so.
Oh wait, don't
Little
my
luxury.
credit card.
All right, so you're gonna reverse the car. And you're gonna turn the wheel to the right because you want your front end to stay.
the Shammer's back.
There's nobody coming, so you're fine. Okay.
Should be good.
You want to take the vehicle out? Roll down your window now, so you don't have to do it when you get up there.
Roll my window down. Okay, wait, that's this one, right?
There you go. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
That's super.
Just so you're ready, because it's. I don't know about you guys, but I get nervous at the window. I don't know why.
Do you?
Just a little bit.
Social anxiety be like.
All right.
Nice. Now you just gotta pull up next to the speaker without hitting the curb.
Yeah, you're doing really
You're
well.
good right there.
You're good.
Nice.
You're gonna come around this.
Being careful not to hit things.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're gonna be okay.
Now you want to get kind of close to that window.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's not the window. Never mind. Keep going.
You're
See that
fine.
overhang? Get under the overhang.
Oh.
Careful though. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh my god. You're doing great.
Go
It's
slow.
okay.
Go slow. If you get a
That's
little
very
potato
slow.
chip, I would prefer not to, but she's silver. We can buff it out. It's okay.
This is your.
That's all right.
All right, here.
Right here. So you're both just.
We go back into that same parking lot that we were in.
Yes. Keep going left. See that arrow?
Yeah. Oh, don't go into the curb.
It's okay.
I'm gonna go in this middle one.
Yeah. Perfect.
It's fine. Just go for it.
You can just go for it, but if you want to practice parking, stop. Put it in reverse, and you can straighten back out.
Heads up, there's a person behind you.
Oh yeah. Just wait. Yep.
Oh my god, it's horrible.
It's not that bad. You're finishing worse.
Mirrors.
Yep.
Mirrors. Mirrors.
Assume dad position. Sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
And your burger, okay?
No, it's okay. Everything's good.
Okay. And then, yeah.
I destroyed Jacob's cheeseburger.
Oh, you made cheeseburger?
I did, yeah.
Wow, I really don't pay attention. Oh my god.
All right, you're good there. Park the car.
That's good. Put it in park. There we go. Way to go.
Yay.
2 close calls
Did it.
today.
Yeah, so that's exactly what happened. That happened a couple weeks ago. Big shout out to our VP operator Mel for letting me drive her car. That was a lot of fun. You know, certainly the nerves
It was a little
were
stressful in the
there.
back seat,
Absolutely.
if I may
Yeah,
add.
A little bit stressful.
If I may add.
That's fair.
But
That's
you
fair.
know, for a first time, I thought you did pretty well, to
Thank
be
you.
honest.
I'm gonna live on that for a while.
You gotta go with it. I mean,
Yeah.
Listen, it's your first time hopping in a car. You didn't crash it. Nobody hit you, and you're alive.
Yeah.
That's a solid win.
And that does it
Solid
for
win.
this episode of Question Mark. See you guys in a couple of weeks for our season finale.
Welcome to episode 2 of Stick to Sports. I'm Brian Burrows.
And I'm Ben Diamond. Today, we take a look at all 4 MLB playoff series and Week 5 of the NFL season.
Roll it. The Texas Rangers went into Camden Yards to take on the Baltimore Orioles and walked away with 2 wins. In Game 1, the Rangers won 3-2 behind 6 2/3 innings of 3-hit ball from their bullpen. Game 2 was a slugfest with a final score of 11-8. The Rangers had 11 runs on 11 hits, their lone home run being a grand slam from Mitch Garver in the 3rd inning. The series heads to Texas for the Rangers' first home game of the postseason. Nathan Eovaldi is projected to take on Dean Kramer. Ben, are the Rangers the favorites to win the AL after their performance so far?
Absolutely. I mean, right now this Rangers team is looking unstoppable, getting help from literally everybody, from veterans to rookies, and we saw a huge veteran presence in Game 2. One game that stood out to me, Mitch Garver, who was supposed to be the second man of that catching tandem there in Texas, and he's the man with 5 RBIs, hitting a grand slam early in the game for the Rangers. So just all around a great game for the lineup of the Rangers. And they really picked up Jordan Montgomery, who after having a fantastic start against the Rays in the wild card series, kind of struggled a little bit, very shaky, only 4 innings and 9 hits. But not only did the lineup help him, but so did the bullpen, and led to a Game 2 victory, and a crucial one at that.
Yeah, and the emergence of Evan Carter as their starting left fielder has been a huge boost to their lineup. He came in as a September call-up, had about 23 games, hit over 300, and won that starting job for the postseason. He's hitting .500 with a .706 and over 1,000 slugging percentage. He's got a homer, 3 doubles, couple RBIs. It's been a huge boost to their lineup. The team is doing even well, even with Marcus Semien struggling, hitting under 200. 13 doubles in 4 games, 25 runs scored. An excellent postseason so far. They're going to go far.
The ace of the Minnesota Twins, Pablo Lopez, dominated the Houston Astros in Game 2, tying the series at 1. Lopez pitched 7 innings, allowing 6 hits and 1 walk while striking out 7 batters. His strong start, combined with a strong offensive showing from the Twins lineup, propelled the Twins to a smooth 6-2 victory on the road. now heading home with a home field advantage on their side. Can the Twins pull off a series victory against the reigning champion Astros?
Absolutely they can. 1-1 going home for 2 games is such a huge advantage. Playoff Correa has finally come around, hitting .533 with 3 doubles through 4 games. He is the playoff experience from this Astros team that they're playing against to lead this team so far, and Pablo Lopez has been absolutely dominant through 2 games of the postseason. If it reaches Game 5, he'll likely pitch again in the series to help shut it down. He's got 1 earned run in 12 innings pitched in his 2 games, 7 shutout innings in Game 2 of the series, and Royce Lewis has carried that spark from the regular season into the postseason. Sonny Gray versus Christian Javier, Game 3. Gray had an excellent regular season of a sub-3 ERA, pitched 5 shutout innings against the Blue Jays in the Wild Card Series. They are going to do really well. I think they'll even go up to 2-1.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this home field advantage is super important, and now the Twins are finally getting their $1 million worth of Carlos Correa. This is exactly what they signed him for, these playoff moments. And, I mean, that Pablo Lopez deal from last offseason with Miami for Luis Arraez, that's looking pretty good right now. He's absolutely picked up. He's turned into another level in the postseason, and the Twins can't ask for much more from the guy that they've put out every 5 days and right now in the postseason to just go out and give him innings.
The Dallas Cowboys took a trip to the Bay Area on Sunday night for a matchup that was touted as an NFC Championship preview with the 49ers. The 49ers decided to show that they are the top dogs in the NFC with a 42-10 victory. Brock Purdy threw for 252 yards and 4 touchdowns, 3 of them going to George Kittle, and Christian McCaffrey found the end zone. Dak Prescott threw 3 interceptions as the Cowboys offense couldn't muster 200 yards. Ben, can any team stop the 49ers this season?
Honestly, I don't think so. This is a 49ers team that has everything. They have quite literally every single part of their team, every aspect, from the lines to their wide receivers to obviously Brock Purdy at quarterback, and the defensive line, Nick Bosa. Everything just works on all cylinders all the time for all 4 quarters for 60 minutes. And frankly, the Cowboys absolutely embarrassed themselves on Sunday Night Football. They talked a big game going in, and they said they were hungry to beat the Niners after 2 straight postseason losses, and frankly came out absolutely flat, and they got beat badly. Right now there's 0 confidence in the Cowboys community and the fan community right now, and I know that for a fact. But right now they needed to win that game to prove that the roster they have right now is legit, and they proved the opposite.
Yeah, and as far as the Niners go, they don't have the easiest schedule. Browns, Vikings, Bengals, and Jaguars, their next 4. Definitely not easy opponents, but the 49ers have looked like they can beat just about anybody. Passing game, ground game has been absolutely effective. Their hardest game is probably Philly in Week 12. That'll be the biggest test, and we'll see where they go from there.
The Jacksonville Jaguars defeated the Buffalo Bills 25-20 in London on Sunday morning. The Jaguars took an early lead in the first quarter and fought off the Bills attempting to take the game from them. While Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs had strong games, it was not enough, as the Bills' run game was stifled heavy by the Jacksonville defense. The Bills' offense as a whole took a step back in London. Was a regression in the works for the Bills after 3 straight monster performances, Brian?
I don't think they should have regressed at all. Josh Allen still threw for 359 yards, including a touchdown, but the run game was absolutely non-existent. Just 29 yards. Not exactly sure what happened there. Not only the Jaguars have one of the best defenses in football, but I really think the biggest factor to what happened was the fact that they didn't get to London until Friday. They should have gotten there Thursday, or maybe even Wednesday. They needed time to deal with the jet lag, to deal with the adjustment and the time zone, and just being in a whole different country. That was a mess up by the team and the NFL and getting them to London, especially where the Jaguars had already been there for an entire week. But the defense was nowhere to be found for the Bills as well. 300 yards from T-Law, over 130 from ETN. They should have stepped up in a bigger way.
Yeah, and I mean, injuries for the Bills certainly did not help, but the Bills need their running game in order to be successful. When James Cook is running on all cylinders and he's getting the ball down the field so Josh Allen doesn't have to just rely on his arm, they are way more successful. And that was seen in the last 3 weeks, but versus the Jaguars, they were not able to get that going. But a solid all-around game for the Jaguars themselves. Their young core probably very proud of their performance there in London against the Bills. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue our talk about Week 5 of the NFL season and get into some college football here on WTOP-10.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
The Kinda Late Show with Chloe and Anna. Like licorice, Twizzlers, absolutely nasty.
The thought of turkey is just nauseating.
I think you're wrong, is what I think.
You think I'm wrong a lot of time.
I do think you're wrong a lot.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back to Stick to Sports. The New Orleans Saints went into Gillette Stadium and shut out the New England Patriots 34-0. The worst shutout loss since 1972 for the Patriots and drops the Patriots to 1-4 for the first time since Bill Belichick's first season in New England. Mac Jones was benched for the second week in a row after throwing another 2 picks. Ben, is it time for the Patriots to move on from Bill and Mac?
I truly think that is the case. The Mac Jones experiment has taken a sharp decline this season. Last season and his rookie season as well, kind of thought he might be serviceable. He might be able to win them some games, make him into the playoffs. And they did make it to the playoffs. However, in last season and coming into this season, a sharp decline in production and just not be able to score at all for these last couple of games. 3 points only in the last 2 games for the Patriots. Right now, the Bill Belichick experience and this Patriots dynasty is looking like it's starting to crumble. The Bill Belichick dynasty is starting to crumble away from what we've seen over the last 20 plus years. What are your thoughts, Brian?
Bill's ability to find these good no-name defensemen has completely gone away. I don't really know what happened, but the defensive players are not good. And unfortunately for Patriots fans, Mac's probably still going to start. I don't think they want to go to Bailey Zappi quite yet.
The Detroit Lions handed the Carolina Panthers their 5th loss of the season, pushing their record to 0-5. The Lions' offense was hot all game, even with the absence of their top wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown. The Lions have continued to prove that the second half of last season was not a fluke. Brian, what are your thoughts on the Lions this season?
The Lions are legit. Jared Goff has been an excellent, I'm going to call him a game manager. Maybe he's a little more than that, but 236 yards, 3 touchdowns, and again, no picks. He throws very little picks. David Montgomery may have been the best signing of the offseason. Over 100 yards in back-to-back games, 6 touchdowns scored, and he missed a week already. He is just a better version of Jamal Williams for them. They outplaying Jahmyr Gibbs. Sam Laporta has been one of the best draft picks of the year. Completely has filled the void left by the trading away of TJ Hawkinson. But the Panthers are really bad. Bryce Young, to me, has looked like the worst of the first-round quarterbacks. So I don't take some less stock from this, but Lions are legit.
Yeah, they certainly are legit, and they do have a weaker strength of schedule. You could see that down the stretch. They don't play the strongest of teams, especially with the Bears being in their schedule. But this Lions team looks much better than they have in the past, and I'm excited to see what they do in the future.
Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow linked up for 15 times for 192 yards and 3 touchdowns in the Bengals' 34-20 win over the Cardinals. Chase set a franchise record for catches in a game. Burrow tallied 315 yards on 36 of 46 passing, and Joe Mixon added another 81 on the ground. Ben, with Burrow finally getting healthier, can the Bengals turn it around and take the division?
I mean, I think they absolutely can. The AFC North is not the strongest division in the NFL this year, so I think for certain this Bengals team still has the talent to take back the top spot in the division. And I mean, Jamar Chase got his wish after last week. He aired his grievances to the media, saying that he was always open, and he was always open this week. And he absolutely cooked the Cardinals defense. And I mean, that connection, that's exactly what the Bengals need. But the next 3 weeks for them are a big test. Seahawks, Niners, Bills. Huge games for the Bengals. If they can win at least 2 of them, we'll know they're back in business.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I think they probably need to win the game against the Seahawks, but these 3 games, it's going to be the small victories. Take what you can, take the positives, take away the negatives. These are really hard teams to beat, so it's just a really hard stretch, but I think they can pull out at least 1 win from this.
Moving over to the MLB, the Atlanta Braves have tied their series against the Philadelphia Phillies in a thrilling 5-4 victory. The Braves were held at bay by Zach Wheeler before taking their first lead of the series in the 8th inning. With the series heading back to Philly, how important was it for the Braves to win this game, Ryan?
This game may have been the most pivotal game of their offseason. I know they're only 2 games in, postseason, I know they're only 2 games in, but winning here, not going down 0-2, going into Philadelphia was probably the biggest thing. Zach Wheeler was still dominant. The bats aren't really showing up quite yet, 6 1/3 and 10 Ks, but they got to the bullpen, which is what they needed to do. From here, their starters need to start performing. They can't be going down early like they have in the first 2 games and having a comeback in the postseason. That's so much harder to do than it is in the regular season. But like I said, not going to Philadelphia to survive is crucial. Now they only need to win 1 game and they get to go back to Atlanta.
I absolutely agree. I mean, the number 1 offense was finally able to get something going against this Phillies team. And right now, as you said, they just need to go to Philly and win at least 1. It's going to be really difficult. We've seen how rowdy the Philadelphia crowd can get, so we'll see if the Braves can take 1 or 2 in the next couple of games.
USC and Arizona were tied at 28 in the 4th quarter when both teams would miss field goals and late in the game to send it to OT. Both sides scored in all 3 overtime periods, but USC would hold Arizona's final 2-point conversion attempt to win the game 43-41. Despite the win, USC fell again in the rankings to number 9. Ben, can USC make it all the way back to the college football playoff this season?
I certainly think it's possible, and I don't think the NCAA will want to leave possible 2-time Heisman winner Caleb Williams out of the dance at the end of the season. But I mean, I understand why USC lost a little bit in their ranking. The passing game really wasn't there. Caleb Williams was not really able to do a lot in the air, and because of that, it was kind of ineffective, only around 219 yards in the air. But his legs, his ability to use his legs near the end zone, absolutely huge for USC. And I think that's exactly why he's so highly touted in the NFL draft next year. But they have a huge matchup against Notre Dame next week. And with Sam Hartman, on the other side, we'll see if the USC defense can hold up their end.
Yeah, and they're going to get some help from their top teams playing each other, Oregon and Washington this week, Penn State, Ohio State next week. Some teams are going to fall that are above them, and that'll definitely help boost them up.
I agree. The Oklahoma Sooners defeated the Texas Longhorns 34-30 in the 2023 Red River rivalry. An offensive affair between the 2 highly ranked teams, with the Sooners' offense prevailing over the Longhorns. With the win, Oklahoma stays undefeated at 6-0, while Texas falls to 5-1. Brian, what are your thoughts on how this game played out?
This was a great game by Oklahoma and a kind of shaky game from Texas. Dylan Gabriel definitely outplayed Quinn Ewers, who threw 2 picks and only had a touchdown, where Gabriel had 1 in the air and 2 on the ground. Texas, though, did show life in the late of the game. They had 13 unanswered points in the second half to take a 30-27 lead, but then Dylan Gabriel came clutch, led the team on a game-winning drive with 1:17 left, with almost no time on the clock. This is the biggest game of Oklahoma's schedule. They jump up to number 5 in the rankings, so they're just 1 outside of the college football playoff. The only ranked team on their schedule, though, is number 23, Kansas. But if they win out, they do definitely have potential to make that top 4 and make the college football playoff.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I mean, this game was as advertised, and 2 powerhouses, couldn't ask for much more on a Saturday afternoon. But we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, Brian will be joined by one of our producers, Alex Brooks, here on WTOP-10.
What's going on?
Yeah, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
no.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Matt, it's 10:30.
Movie is 10:30.
Hey,
Don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa. You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow.
Wow.
Get closer with that one.
Matthew,
Broadcast news.
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to Major Discussions.
Welcome back to Stick to Sports. Joining me now is Alex Brooks, one of our producers. Alex, what do you have for us tonight?
Thanks, Brian. Starting off on the diamond, the MLB playoffs have been nothing short of exciting, with many new teams having early playoff success. The Arizona Diamondbacks fit the bill with sweeping the Brewers in the wildcard round and going up 1-0 against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Led by Christian Walker and Corbin Carroll, Brian, can the D-backs go up 2-0 and potentially win this series?
Absolutely they can. They're playing right now. They're up 3-1 going into the 6th inning, so it's already looking good for them to take a 2-0 lead. But the bats are looking so incredibly explosive. It was the 11-2 killing of the Dodgers in Game 1. They knocked Kershaw out in the first inning. Clayton Kershaw is one of the best pitchers of the era. 13 hits against them. It was so bad from Kershaw, and then Sheehan, 9 runs allowed in the first 2 games between them. Bobby Miller, 3 runs allowed in the first inning of the Game 2 tonight. Corbin Carroll and Gabriel Moreno are looking like studs. Each had a homer in that game. Corbin Carroll has been a stud all year. Gabriel Moreno starting to break out a little bit. And Merrill Kelly and Zach Gallen are a great 1-2 punch to help them get wins.
Yeah, for sure, Brian. And the D-backs, they're currently up 3-1, as you mentioned. But, I mean, they have just been literally, their young bats have just been going off. And, you know, being able to have that early inning success, like 2 straight games where they've taken the Dodgers and got up early in the first inning has been very critical. So I think they'll be able to go far in this. Moving over to the gridiron, the San Francisco 49ers are red hot, led by the most successful Mr. Irrelevant QB Brock Purdy. The 23-year-old QB has excelled so far in his young career as he is 10-0 and helping the 49ers outscore their opponents 167-58 this season. Brian, I know it is a long season, but should we put Brock Purdy on the MVP radar?
Not quite yet. His stats are good so far, over 1,200 yards, no picks yet, but he's not top 5 in passing yards this season. He's not top 5 in passing touchdowns. Those are usually pretty big stats to garner an MVP award. And he really isn't the focal point of the offense like a Josh Allen, like a Tua. Those guys, when you think of the Bills, the Dolphins, you think Josh Allen and Tua Tagovailoa. Those are the guys. Brock Purdy, his name was big because of Mr. Irrelevant, but Christian McCaffrey has definitely been the focal point of this offense. He's been so important to their success. His rushing and passing ability has definitely helped Purdy, and he's only got 1 game over 300 passing yards, which is another thing that's going to really keep him back. But keep up this pace, and he certainly could get into that conversation.
Listen, Brian, I feel like if you take his stats, right, 9 touchdowns, no interceptions, that's pretty impressive. But you got to think, Brock Purdy's only loss was against the Philadelphia Eagles in the conference championship game, and he didn't even have a shot. He literally just got he got knocked out, and I'm thinking Purdy's in the MVP conversation. Let's stay with the teams who are starting off strong, going to the 305 as the Miami Dolphins have put themselves in strong contention for one of the top teams in the AFC. Led by Tua Tagovailoa, Devon Achane, and Tyreek Hill, Miami is now 4-1 after defeating the Giants 31-16. With the Bills losing to the Jags on Sunday, the Dolphins took possession of the AFC East. Brian, is Miami a threat to the Chiefs for the #1 spot in the AFC?
Simple answer is absolutely. They have a pretty easy schedule coming down now. They have still have 2 games left for the Patriots, who we talked about look really bad. 2 games versus the Jets, who are very iffy. They have the Raiders. They have the Titans. Their schedule is pretty shaky for their opponents. Their offense looks completely unstoppable. And they also have a home game versus the Chiefs. The Chiefs have to go to Miami to win the game. The Chiefs also haven't looked the best this year. I know they're 4-1. But teams with good offenses, which they still have to face 2 times the Chargers, the Eagles, the Bills, and the Bengals, are going to give their defense, which has also looked shaky at times, fits.
Yeah, I feel like with Miami, they have a good defense. Their offense is looking scarier than ever with Tua and Tyreek, and the running game is really going. Their schedule is looking favorable, as you said, so I think it's going to be that Week 9 game against the Chiefs. That's going to make or break for the Miami Dolphins for the #1 seed.
We're going to take a quick break here and stick to sports. Thanks once again to Alex for the fast break. When we come back, Brian, Alex, and Ben will head into extra innings. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Stick to Sports on WTOP-10.
La 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 la. Breathe. La 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 la. La 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 la. Freeze.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
And it could be your last chance to see one occur for 2 decades, as the next time one will be visible over the continental U.S.
He's May 84. Yarrow told police in the hospital that he had pressed the doorbell and bleeding.
They mix with oxygen and nitrogen. They become briefly
Welcome back to Stick to Sports. Now let's get ready for another edition of Extra Innings. Guys, let's start off with the standings so far. We're all 2-3. We are all at the same record. I don't know how that even happened.
We need to not pick the same picks like last
exactly.
week. We can't all be picking the same picks again.
Yeah, that's not happening.
So we'll go right into it. The Rangers versus the Orioles. I'll start off with you, Brian.
So Rangers at -140. It's Eovaldi versus Kramer on the mound. Eovaldi has looked so much better than this season than he had in the last couple of years. I think Rangers are definitely taking it in the sweep.
I'm going to go with the Orioles. I think they will end up taking at least one game in this series, and I think it will be Game 3. Obviously, because they have to, because if they don't, they're out. So, yeah, they'll be winning the next game in the series.
Orioles are not going to get swept. I'm picking the Orioles. So we'll move over to another division series between the Twins and the Astros. Twins are favored. I'll start with you, Ben.
I like the Twins in this series. I really liked what I saw in Game 2. And in Game 1, I mean, they obviously lost Game 1, but towards the end, they showed a little fight. And in a younger team with a good veteran postseason presence, as we mentioned earlier, Carlos Correa being a part of that team, I really like this Twins team, and I think they'll take the next one as well.
Personally, I am not a fan of the Astros. I don't think they're going to do they're not doing very well this year. I mean, they're 1-1, but I'm going Twins. Sonny Gray is dominant, and they're going up 2-1.
Twins are hungry. We're picking the Twins. We'll move over to some college football. We'll do the Washington Huskies versus the Oregon Ducks. It's really a toss-up, so I'll go with you, Brian. Start off.
I think Michael Penix is going to outplay Bo Nix. Oregon has better defense, but it's not going to matter. And I think Washington is going to cover the spread at -2.5.
You know, I'm going to have to agree with you there, Brian. I really like Washington in this game. I think they're a strong team. Again, it's a battle of the Heisman candidates, Bo Nix, Michael Penix. I really like Penix in this one. I think he's going to take it with Washington.
Well, I'm going to take Oregon on this one, just because of their history, their successful history against Washington. So we'll move over to some hockey because NHL is starting up soon. It's going to be the Las Vegas Golden Knights versus Brian's Seattle Kraken. So, Brian, I'll let you take this one over.
I am taking the Kraken in this one. I know they're very big underdogs in this one, but they're getting Burakovsky back. They had a decent run of the playoffs last year. Kraken are going to take some momentum into the season and win.
You know, I like the Kraken as a team. I like what they showed in their sophomore season as being a franchise, but I'm going to go with the reigning Stanley Cup champions, the Golden Knights.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you, Ben. I'm going to take the Las Vegas Golden Knights. I also like what the Kraken are doing, but I still think you just got to play matchup on this one, so I'm going to take the Golden Knights here. And the last one is going to be the Kings versus the Avalanche. So, Ben, I'll have you take this last one.
You know, the Kings are favored just by a small margin, but I think that home ice advantage will be important, and I think the LA Kings will win the season opener against Colorado.
I'm going opposite you. I'm taking the Avalanche underdogs. Cal McKinnon's so good. Mikko Rantanen, that team's really good. I don't think away is going to hurt them too much.
So, Kings, Avalanche. I'm going to take the Avs on this one. Let's book the underdog. Avs are going to take this one.
All right, yeah, well, that'll do it for this episode of Stick to Sports. I mean, this is a good episode. A lot of good stuff going on. Hockey starting, playoff baseball, Week 5 of the NFL, and good college football matchups. What more you can ask for? Tune in next week, Monday.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back live inside the Roker studio from Laker Turf Stadium for the fastest moving 30 minutes in sports, Sports Talk. Oh no.
Oh no!
It's season. We don't exactly own the rights to the game that we've said for the last year and a half. So
another episode of the fastest moving 30 minutes in all of entertainment, ? I'm Juliana Giudice, joined by Maddie Durant. And Maddie, it looks like it's just the two of us.
Isn't that amazing?
I know. Kind of like it.
Attention! He has arrived!
Gentlemen, pleasure. Right this way. Who are these two? Those look like Garrett and Kyle. The professor has returned. The professor is back.
Some heavy security for a professor here.
Yeah, who are these two?
Only the best security team in the land. Security Man Chan and Security Man Bezak. Care to introduce yourselves, strangers?
Well, I'm Juliana. This is Maddie.
Are you related to Inspector Jason?
I am actually, yeah.
I knew the name sounded familiar. Knew the name sounded from. And you?
Maddie Durant, the one and only. Not related to anyone. Just
I can tell. No.
So, what are you doing here?
What am I doing here?
Yeah.
Well, you guys must not be familiar, but I have been summoned. I heard there was a direct force, and once again, much like last year, where I was brought in as a result of the don't mess with my security guards. They're not moving.
Sorry.
They're not moving.
Sorry.
Just like there was an issue last year with the guys from the Laker Connections team. I hear there's another new show, New Kids on the Block, Cream Free.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That I've got to come in here and try to take care of. So I guess that's why I'm here.
Okay. Well,
also to have a little bit of fun. I don't mind doing the show every now and then when my identical twin brother decides to step out for the day. So
your identical twin brother
right.
is Bradley?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Could you not tell?
No.
I know the glasses.
He is. I think it's the glasses.
I think it's the glasses.
That's really like confusing.
Makes
They
sense.
throw you.
Makes sense.
Just a little.
I mean, he is way better looking.
Why?
So.
Why? I thought they.
Oh, they moved.
No, they move. They're that good that they're gonna move. They're like SpongeBob when he runs around that one volcano. You want to see me do it once? I'm gonna see me do it again. All right. I think that's it, right? We can go to break.
I don't know. I feel like we could keep talking.
Okay.
I like this. This is nice.
Yeah, it's nice. It's cozy.
Maybe I don't like
comfortable
That's right.
atmosphere.
Okay. We can keep talking.
Why did they do that?
I hear the names as well. Is that something
yeah. So
what happened there?
basically what happened was somebody stole our name, so now we have to work together to get it back.
Okay. Well.
J-Man did some investigation.
Did you?
As we saw.
Really? Must have missed that one. Oh. No?
No?
Well, I mean, he would know as his identical twin brother as well. But, yeah, I mean, I will say, much like, stop touching the security guard.
Sorry.
I mean, come on.
I'm sorry.
Your sister or your cousin would never.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
so, much like Santa Claus, Professor Bradley's come bearing gifts.
Oh, okay. Lovely.
And that comes for the two of you guys.
Oh.
Because I'm gonna denounce you guys today as my students. You're gonna be my new students. Much like I was able to hang out with Kyle and Garrett, I'm gonna hang out with you two.
Okay.
And I'm gonna test your guys' knowledge and your ability to work together.
Okay.
Against my two security guards.
I feel like we can do that.
Yeah. You know, we're Team Plaid.
Exactly.
Team Plaid?
Team Plaid.
Wow.
For the win.
Plaid. Love that color. Just screams excitement. So that's gonna do it for our black today. Yeah, they're little. I know. You guys got your hands full. But now that that's over, let's throw it to a break. And we're going to have a little bit more coming up on the other side. The security guards are going to talk a little bit about sports. We'll be right back.
Shine on that black.
Look at the bling. Look at do we got a diamond tester on? Yeah, that's getting bad. Yep.
10 out of 10 recommend on Yelp.
I think you could build a house here with how many bricks are being made in this game.
That is a rapid nosedive, and it's at the point of no return, guys.
Jill told me it was Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
Al Roker. Welcome back to Major Discussions.
To get back to our roots with a little sports segment. So, gentlemen, please sit down, and ladies, get out of here. Get out.
Okay.
Nope, leave the chairs.
Oh,
leave the chairs. Dylan, no chairs. Chairs away. We're not doing chairs. None of that. Gentlemen, you may speak. How are we doing today?
Oh wow. We're doing great. Doing great.
My seat is so low.
Thank you for letting us talk.
Absolutely, of course. Thank you guys for all the services you guys do.
Of course.
Much like your predecessors, you guys are big sports fans. So why don't you just give a little piece to camera, the both of you, real quick, and just say your favorite sports teams. Who do you guys root for?
I root for the New York Mets.
Ooh, I think we're going to talk a little bit about the Mets here in a minute.
Indeed.
Well, if we're sticking on baseball, New York Yankees.
All right. Well, my cousin is a Boston Red Sox fan,
Oh.
my brother, all my family's Boston Red Sox fans. My identical twin brother is a Boston Red Sox fan, but I don't like baseball. I think it rots the mind, and where you can be studying things like psychology and life, watching baseball is a waste of 3.5 hours. But that's just me.
It's going to be shorter now.
Is it?
Yeah, they got
games are
pitch
shorter.
clocks now.
Well, wow. That gives me less time to not watch. So
Yeah, I guess so.
it's going to be awesome,
I
isn't
mean,
it?
I can't disagree with you. So.
Yeah. But all right, let's start talking a little bit about sports. So I'm going to send it over to the security man, Chan, for a little bit of baseball.
Yeah. Let's talk about the World Baseball Classic, which has been happening over the past couple weeks. We've had a lot of teams compete against each other. We started with 6 pools, I believe, 4 pools. I gotta get that straight. And now we find ourselves in the championship round, or close to the championship round, the U.S., led by Trey Turner, who's been an absolute dog the last couple of games. He has brought the U.S. all the way back to the finals, looking to defend their crown. So, gentlemen, thoughts on the WBC? Professor Bradley, I understand it's not your cup of tea.
But I also, though, I have been in contact with my identical twin brother who did watch the WBC. So I'm just going to relay some of the information that he told me. I didn't watch. My identical twin brother watched Great Britain play the United States of America. Mm-hmm. That was interesting. It made me root against the United States of America. But I thought Great Britain team thought was great. Thought they huh?
How can you do that?
Oh, I'm sorry, my brother rooted against the United States of America.
How could your brother do that?
He just did. He just wasn't into it. The underdog story. It's the miracle on dirt and grass. Yeah. So I watched a little bit of the My identical twin brother, force of habit, has watched a little bit of the WBC. But Kyle, did you watch any of that? Miracle on dirt is right.
Nah, I watched a little bit of it. Haven't watched any full games. More been keeping up with it.
Yeah.
I'm glad the U.S. is in it because we created the sport. We should probably be in the final of it.
They're jacked. They've got a jacked up team, I'm told.
Dude, Mookie Betts, Mike Trout in the outfield. Wow.
What was that?
Mookie Betts and Mike Trout in the outfield is unreal. I mean.
Yeah. I mean, my twin brother saw the Canada pitcher, the young man Brett.
Oh, he had it rough. He had it rough.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll pick up
9 runs
instead of
first inning.
Something like that. Yeah. It was not good to be on that mound and facing, might I say, probably the best hitters in the world.
Yeah.
The U.S. lacks pitching, but I still think they're going to win it all.
I don't know. Japan, if it ends up being Japan, we'll know later tonight. I think Japan probably poses the biggest threat for the United States. I mean, Shohei Ohtani's the third rotation pitcher on their lineup, and he's one of the better pitchers in Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Dude's got a bat like none other, and the rest of the team can. Because the thing is, you got to think baseball's just as big over there as it is over here.
That's true.
So a lot of their best players are like, why would I leave Japan when I'm already in a huge league that's super competitive and is paying me also tens of millions of dollars. Why would I go to America where it's a completely different culture, completely different language? I mean, if the skill level is still relatively the same and you're making the same amount of money.
Kyle speaks a lot of facts.
Japan's got one darn good baseball program over there.
Very good. Let's move on to my rant. So one of the big headlines during the World Baseball Classic was, of course, the devastating injury to New York Mets closer Edwin Diaz. Last Thursday, following Puerto Rico's 5-2 victory over the Dominican Republic, Diaz was severely injured during the team's celebration. Unable to put weight on his right leg and taken off the field in a wheelchair, Diaz is expected to miss the entire season after suffering a torn patellar tendon. Everyone has been saying low Mets and Mets gonna Met. As soon as the injury happened, I got a DM from a person, name will not be said, where he was ridiculing the Mets, saying, same old Mets. But guess what? Keep that same energy.
Who could that be?
I'm not going to say on air.
Who could it be?
I'm not going to say on air.
Who could it be, Garrett? Come
but
on.
all I'm going to say is...
I generally don't know who it is.
You keep saying it. Keep saying it when we win it all this year. I'm going to leave it at that.
You say that every year.
Well, we're not the Cowboys.
Are you guys done talking about sports? I'm doing equations, things that actually matter. So, you guys done?
We're not, though, actually.
You're not?
That's the crazy thing. Cause,
okay, well, I'll keep going. I'm going to finish my equation.
Yeah, because
my brain
there's something going on right now. Actually, you should know Math Boy. It has a little bit of numbers.
Don't call me Math Boy.
What's wrong, Math Boy?
Bradley.
Okay, whatever, Doctor Math.
I'm almost a doctor.